Say something? If it wasn't for y'all, I would really think that I ain't doing shit. Because the industry I'm in does not recognize me. And to be clear, I'm speaking about the black spaces in the industry I'm in. Because y'all know I don't give two damns about any of these other spaces. But the black spaces is what I'm referring to. Which is largely in part why I've realized like I need to shift out of this industry. You know, like I don't get invited to Essence Women in Hollywood. I've never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. I've been nominated for an Image Award. Never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. Never been honored at Black Girls Rock. Like, I've hosted these events. You know what I'm saying? I literally hosted the BET Awards in 2020 in my house, and I was not invited to the BET Awards since. So I just want to thank y'all for always reminding me that I really am valuable, because the game and the industry that I've been in has never let me know.
Amanda Seales is a 42-year-old actress from the Los Angeles area. Amanda is decorated both as a scholar and an actress, musician, radio host, and social critic. But just because you're smart and pretty doesn't mean you're a nice person. And that's what Amanda Seales keeps running into. See, you can check off all the boxes, but still miss something very important, and that's called awareness. In this video, Amanda Seales complains about not being invited into important black events, not getting black accolades, and I'm going to be very frank, Amanda Seales, besides the fact that you're not very well liked, what have you really done to merit any of these accolades? In the immortal words of LaToya Jackson, what have you done for us lately? In many ways, Amanda Seales is a less decorated, less talented, light-skinned version of Monique. Both Amanda and Monique try to weaponize race and gender when they are rightfully being excluded from important events. At least with Monique, we can say her blacklisting was unfair, and it had more to do with the fact that she had beef with Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. In the case of Amanda Seales, she just pissed everybody off in young black Hollywood, or I guess I should say millennial black Hollywood. Since people like Issa Rae, Michael B. Jordan, they're all heading towards their 40s. In the new up-and-coming young black Hollywood, they don't fuck with Amanda Seales either because she's a hater. I mean, just look what she tried to do with DDG and Halle Bailey.
It was sweet, and she really liked that in person. So It's like, if people actually took the time to realize who's actually playing the Little Mermaid instead of just going off that she's black, I think they'd be like,
every once in a while, we get reminded like how terribly racist America still is.
Yeah, I didn't know people was this racist. I didn't know this was.
Neither did I, dude.
I thought this shit was gone already.
Halle Bailey's boyfriend, DDG, says he wasn't aware of racism was still an issue until the Little Mermaid backlash. I thought Martin Luther King canceled that shit out. Gotta break up with him. Gotta do it.
That's your advice? At your big old age, that is your advice to give to that young couple? Keep in mind, Halle Bailey was pregnant at this point, so she's encouraging her to just break up with her boyfriend because he's ignorant of black history. You know, I called Amanda Seales a scholar earlier, and this would have been a perfect opportunity for her to explain to him the insidious nature of systemic racism. It's so ingrained in not only the law enforcement, but also the school system that it makes people actually believe that it doesn't exist. Instead, you became snarky and rude. See, you are old miserable ass. Amanda Seales also leaves out a very important fact. She was born in 1981 and DDG was born in 1997. They are from completely different generations. She was raised in Los Angeles, surrounded by a halo of white liberalism. DDG grew up in Pontiac, Michigan, which is a blue-collared, working black city. She knows nothing about the struggle, and based off of some of the comments that I've read online, some black women do not feel like Amanda Seales represents them, represents their experience, because phenotypically she doesn't look like most black women. Some even argue that she may be putting on some of this pro-blackness to overcompensate for something that she's lacking. Now, I've come across all kinds of mixed race, light-skinned people that express their blackness in unique ways. I wouldn't put that past her, but this feels more like misandry and not so much pro-blackness.
For trying to Me Too a well-established and respected ex-NFL player and current surgeon.
The one person that I actually got excited about, like, who had dropped in my DMs, I basically like manifested 2 years ago. I was like, this person is going to eventually fall into my DMs. And if like he did, we had a conversation, and I talk about this on my podcast, Small Doses. Like within the first conversation, he's like, when are you coming to Boston? I was like, well, I'll be there February 23rd.
Well, we know he's from Boston
for
now.
my
Okay,
show.
we know he's from Boston.
And he was like,
clue.
no, I need to see you before that. Easy, B. Like,
Easy B.
easy, B.
The man she's referring to is Myron Rowe. Now, when a man wants you to come over almost immediately, he's trying to smash. He's not trying to be in a relationship with you. Apparently, she was off-putted by that. Cool. But that's not really harassment or off-putting or even concerning behavior.
Really don't take it lightly what I'm about to say. Because when you name names, you know, you put not only that person out there, but you also put yourself out there. But I feel as a woman who makes it my business to be a warrior for the truth, that it needs to be said. I, on my podcast and on The Breakfast Club, spoke about an individual who had approached me on the internet and who we spoke on the phone, and that they said some troubling things in the conversation that made me take a step back.
Take a mental note at how she painted him asking her to fly to Boston to see him as something troubling he said in a conversation that made her take a step back. Now, magically, just out of nowhere, she found 8 anonymous sources, other women who can validate her story and who also have predatory occurrences with Myron.
And that also, with literally like no investigation, it was brought to my attention that he had sexually harassed a woman by opening the door when she came to meet him for a date, butt naked. And then telling her that she was the one who was overreacting, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I heard that one story and was just like, whoa, that's crazy. When I spoke about him on my podcast and on the Breakfast Club, I didn't say his name. I literally just said a couple like characteristics about him, and it has been shocking and incredibly discomforting to me how many women, 8 as of tonight, that have come forward to say his name. They knew exactly who he was, to say his name, and that he had been incredibly problematic. And
this live stream of hers get worse because she then names him by name and put him on blast while she levies accusations as if they were the absolute fact and the truth, when these were just anonymous tips upon the assumption that she actually received those tips. She was saying this as if it was facts. And for her to go as far as to name him by name and then warn other women to stay away from him and call him a predator while this man have a professional career to maintain without any proof whatsoever, people were upset and outraged at what she just did.
You know, behaved in a very sexual, predatory way with them that some have said could have gotten him fired. So I say all that to say, if you are approached by Myron Rowe, you should just be mindful. I don't have empirical proof, but I've had enough women come forward saying that he was incredibly inappropriate with them, that I feel it would be inappropriate of me to not put the word out there that there is a man that is not being okay.
Myron Sales will take to Instagram to defend himself. Now, I'm not saying this dude is innocent. I'm just saying up to this date, Amanda Sales haven't really provided any type of proof to validate the accusations she levied against him. Myron would say that she's capping, she's lying, and that she's only doing this because she wanted a different type of relationship than he wanted, aka he wanted to smash and she wanted to be wifey. Now, he will say in regards to the other accusations that she's saying that other women are telling her about Myron, he will say none of it has been substantiated. He's not even sure if she actually got those stories from people or if she's making it up herself. Now, Amanda Seales will come back and really tarnish her public reputation by copping a plea and backtracking on the accusation she made against Myron.
Some things to address. 1. I never accused Myron Rolle of sexually harassing me or of sending me inappropriate DMs. What I did say was that via DM, several women have approached me accusing him of sexually harassing them. 2nd, I never said that black men were the cause for Jussie Smollett, and I also have never said that black men are solely the cause for holding black people back.
I think the real issue that Amanda is running into is that she doesn't mix well with others. She's very low vibrational. She's very rude. I think she feels she's more intelligent than she really is. And if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're always going to undermine and second guess anything someone else tells you because you are the smartest person in the room. And yes, she may have misandrous impulses, but she does not work well with other women.
And I mean, you and Jeannie have butted heads in a couple of different topics.
Have we?
That just kind of goes
Stop.
into episodes.
Thank you.
Does it, I mean, does it feel like it's 6 seasons already? I mean, not for you because you're a newbie.
Yes.
And welcome, by the way.
For a long time.
Yeah, it does feel crazy when you think about the idea that we've walked down those stairs to that same song 1,000 times. Like, thinking about it that way is
And
so
I think
exciting.
everyone has tripped.
Yeah. What's the experience been like for you so far?
I think it's just really been interesting every morning coming and be able to talk about topics that are really like permeating the zeitgeist, but being able to talk about it here and be a part of influencing that conversation.
Right.
You know, when you do it on Instagram or whatever, you know, you're in your own world, but here it has a much bigger effect, and I take a lot of responsibility for that. So it's great to be able to do that at the table.
And I mean, you and Jeannie have butted heads in a couple of different topics.
Have we?
That just kind of goes.
Stop. No, because you know what? We're
It
not
comes to territory, though, right?
No, that's not the territory we're coming from.
Yeah.
We're not butting heads. And I think it's very, very important, especially at a table of diverse women,
Say it.
to very clearly delineate the difference between having a difference in opinion than butting heads. You'll know when I'm butting heads.
Yeah.
Because when I butt heads, there's only going to be one head standing.
And
as you can see, we're still here.
And I also think that as times change, our show has changed. So we've gone from, you know, a show that was a lot of fluff and bubbly, and now we're taking on topics not only about ourselves, but what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And so that's why we brought on Amanda, because Amanda has a master's in African American studies.
Yeah.
But she's also a great comedian, and you want to change, you want to refresh the show. So that's what we did for season 6, and it's been
important for
good.
people to think that, or to know that women aren't one-dimensional.
Yeah.
That we all have so many different dimensions to us. We can have fun, we can run around and chase each other for fake it or take it and have so much fun. And at the same time, also be able to tackle really intelligent, informative conversations. And that's important for us to show.
And
I've arrived because my contract is up at the Real and I did not renew it because it doesn't feel good to my soul to be at a place where I cannot speak to my people the way they need to be spoken to, and where the people who are speaking to me in disparaging ways are not being handled. I'm not in a space where I can, as a full Black woman, have my voice and my coworkers also have their voices, and where the people at the top are not respecting the necessity for Black voices to be at the top too.
AKA, they wouldn't let me race bait and race antagonize anymore. And she also stated that she wished that her voice would be heard just as loudly in the decision making as the executives who are being paid to run a network. This chick is crazy.
See, this is exactly what Amanda Seales does every time. She catches a L, she runs to social media, she makes a big stinker about it, and then she makes herself some big martyr to the Black cause. But can you tell me one thing? Can you tell me one documentary Amanda Seales has been the spearhead behind, producer, director, did anything besides set her ass down in a chair and gave her opinion on something? What about a piece of legislation, some type of policy that Amanda Seales has put her celebrity behind? How about this? Name one charity event that you can think of that Amanda Seales was a part of, that she made a point to highlight on her social media accounts. No, she's too busy complaining about being blacklisted.